Welcome, everyone. Sean Cornett here, national consultant, St. Louis, Missouri, with my friend Patricio Pereyra, new executive consultant from, where are you from originally? Peru. And what brings you to the United States? I don't think that it was Ambit.
No, it wasn't. Initially, no, it wasn't. Before coming to the US, I was a professional table tennis player, and I am an international student, so I got a scholarship in Illinois University in St. Charles, Missouri, for table tennis and international business. So yeah, the coach got in contact with me, and that's how I got accepted to the school.
Fantastic. So that brought you to the great state of Missouri.
That's right.
Where we are not deregulated.
Exactly. Yeah.
But tell us how you came to find out about Ambit.
I wasn't looking for it. The opportunity came to me, actually. The best friend of my first roommate in freshman year, his friend from high school, came one day and told us, to go eat with him. And he said, "Okay, Patricio, you want to come with us? It's going to be fun. It's going to be some free pizza there." Okay.
Free food never hurts.
Yeah, it never hurts.
Especially college kids.
So I went there, and he started talking about business, about everything, about Ambit. So I didn't turn him down, but we agreed that his dad was going to do a second presentation. I showed up again, and the person who is now my mentor, he showed up there and he made a presentation, and I signed up right away. So it was good. That was like
3 years and a few months ago. So you're a foreign exchange student from Peru. In the U.S. in a non-deregulated state, and you find out about Ambit Energy, an opportunity, which obviously operates mainly in deregulated states. And what made you think that you could succeed with it?
I was very young. My mother has always taught me to never quit, to always keep going, keep fighting for what we believe is right and what we believe is gonna make us better people. So I believed in this business since day one, and that's why I think, like you said, like at that moment when I signed up, the only prospects that I had was international students or international friends who didn't have any clue about deregulation, electricity, gas, energy.
So you had the ideal list to work with.
Yeah.
you had other international students.
Other international students, yeah.
All going to school in a non-deregulated state.
Yeah. Right. To get in, and they all were broke.
Even better. Even better.
But even better, yeah. So, but yeah, I remember one of the first meetings was a dorm meeting. I did it with my roommate, and out of that meeting, I think 2 consultants came in. That was our first 2 consultants. So it was good, but yeah, I think just perseverance was the key, just to make it happen.
Gotcha. And that's perseverance for everyone else.
Yeah, yeah, perseverance.
So perseverance is the key. So you got started, you saw the vision of Ambit, but obviously you've got to go through to make this business work, to gather customers, to help others gather customers. Talk to me a little bit about how, about, not obviously we don't have time to go and find every detail, but what do you do on a daily basis to build your business?
For example, I give you a good example. Between 2 guys who were serving the burgers. and they were complaining about how long they have to drive to come to Lindenwood to work. And I heard it was like a 45, 50-minute drive. So I asked them, where are you from? Where do you live? And one of them, James, he said, I live in O'Fallon, Illinois. So as soon as I heard that, I knew what was going on. So I said, at what time are you done here? He said, oh, it's going to be at 10 at night. Okay, I will wait for you. And we started talking about the business. After he was done with work, and he's right now he's a customer of mine, and he's ready to get called. So that happened like 2 days ago. So he's coming to the next presentation, and I didn't know. I go to Spelman cafeteria, to the cafeteria to eat every day, and I didn't realize that guy was from Illinois. So it happened. I probably have many American friends that I don't know. They are from deregulated states.
Yeah. Illinois license plates.
That's right. Yeah, that's another good. I've had a few consultants from I just take a look at the license plates, Illinois. So I make sure who they are and probably give them a call and get in contact with them. And yeah, that's another way. Or in class, there's sometimes in business we relate to topics where it matters where the students come from. And some of them say, I am from Illinois, from Pennsylvania, Texas. We have a lot of students from Texas, so they're good prospects.
Absolutely. Wow. So if we haven't sufficiently eliminated any excuse that you have, wherever you're watching this video from, you pretty much have none now. And that was one of the main points, obviously, of this interview, because I know that Patricio has such an incredible story and overcoming odds, and the situation where he's definitely at a disadvantage to most people, and something that I can obviously relate to. And I get the question a lot: how do you build from a non-deregulated territory? And really the answer is you do whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's right.
And that looks a little bit different for you than it does for me, right? I mean, I haven't necessarily taken that approach. I mean, I don't look for Illinois license plate necessarily, but the bottom line is we network ourselves to deregulated territories however we can, and we do whatever it takes to get there, to make connections in deregulated areas, because that's where the business is built. Now I want to talk about something, change gears here a little bit, a little bit of a dark tale, but it's an important lesson.
Yeah.
Because this is an important part about our business, which is doing the right thing and making sure we're clear in our communications and everything that we do to represent Ambit the right way. And I know we had an unfortunate situation a few months back. So talk to me about that and share your experience to just to give other folks that maybe are newer in the business and don't understand how important it is that we are very clear in what we do and how we do what we do, because what we do is important. Electricity and natural gas, it's a highly regulated industry. So I don't want to give it away, but if you would share a few minutes on that.
So I feel and I think that communication within the team, downline team, is vital in order to together. So when this happened, it was a mistake based on lack of communication, where a new consultant didn't do the right thing, and because probably she felt like it was easier to have some shortcuts, and but what she didn't know is that was obviously going to create an issue for her sponsor and for the upline also. So at that moment, I realized, and I since the beginning, and the way this business works is never sacrifice integrity for growth. So I know that clarity, transparency is also really important. So I got in touch with her and realized that she just made a mistake, but a mistake that cost her business. And I feel like just by communicating with downline consultants, new consultants, about how to do things the right way, even if it takes longer, even if it takes a few more steps to get it done, it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's worth it. It's never put your business in risk just because of one customer or two customers, or even for a good amount of customers, it's not worth it. So we learned from that lesson.
I bet you have. And if you don't mind,
Yeah.
can I be a little more specific?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Specifically, and in a very quick summary, Patricio had a consultant who, was new, didn't really know better, took a shortcut to third-party verify a customer on her own without the customer. Obviously got her terminated very quickly when they found that out, and Ambit has a very good process of identifying those situations. And I have to remember to look up to the camera here instead of the microphone. And so they found that out, and not only did she initially get terminated, but a few people upline that were involved in some way, and that included Patricio at the time. And it was not easy, but Patricio worked very diligently and was very passionate about the business, obviously. So he did everything that it took to Ambit, communicating that, hey, it was a mistake, but it wasn't my mistake. I think the lesson is that, the mistake that you did make is that you probably could have gone a little bit more out of your way to make sure that you can't take that shortcut. And when it comes to all things customers, and then third-party verification and enrolling people the proper way and, communicating things properly, Ambit has a very, very short leash because it directly affects their licensing in every state. And they will absolutely terminate any single one of us, including me, if it comes down to maintaining their license as a deregulated provider in any state, or keeping me. They're going to get rid of me and keep their license. And so, it's an important lesson because, in this case, Patricio it wasn't his direct fault, but, it affected his team in a big way. He lost a few consultants, but he was able to get back in, but he lost a few consultants that were directly involved and that did know better. They just didn't realize how big of a mistake it was. And so we've got to make sure we're training our new consultants to do things properly and never sacrifice integrity for growth, as you said. So, but now that we got you back in the good graces, and shortly after that, you hit executive consultant shortly before Ambition 2016. What would be the number one piece of advice that you could share with everybody?
For me, the most important part is the why. Why are you doing this business? Every time I slow down a little bit or get distracted, I realize I start thinking about why I started doing this business. Why, and that's something that I was taught by one of my mentors, also Clint Hamill. He always told me that never forget where you're coming from, and never forget why you're doing this business. That's my motivation. That's my daily motivation. Why that made the promotion happen. That made my financial freedom happen, and made a lot of things for me. So I think the reason why I do the business is the key factor why it made me succeed in this business. And I think that's the most important part also. where consultants, ECs, or seniors, regionals need to focus on with a new prospect to build up their why, their reason why they're getting involved with Ambit Energy. So that's how it worked for me.
We met in an interesting way. I want to go back to the very first day that we met in person. Patricio, so I work, I have an office in a, what's called a co-working facility. And we get forwarded resumes from the local college on a regular basis. And I got a resume one day, and it was from an international student, and he put down Ambit Energy on his resume of experience as a senior consultant. I'm like, wow, that's pretty incredible. I don't know if I'm going to hire him to do anything, but I need to meet this guy. So I emailed him and invited him. I didn't say who I was. I was curious if he would know. And sure enough, we scheduled an interview, and I was looking for somebody to help me with Energy Gold Rush support at the time, and also was looking to expand and do the Energy Gold Rush in Spanish. And Patricio is bilingual, so that hit on a lot of fronts. So brought him in, and came in, and we went through the interview. And after it was over, I finally asked you, do you know who I am? Or something of the nature. I thought, anyway, you said, I don't know how you said it, but
I knew exactly who you were. We know you, or I know you as Sean Cornett. So, but it was Sean.
Oh, Eric. That's right. My middle name is Eric. I go by Eric, and so I thought I'm going to disguise myself and see if he recognizes me. But brought you in. You obviously knew who I was, and you knew because of Energy Gold Rush. Right?
Yeah.
And so you had been using the Energy Gold Rush videos, the Energy Gold Rush system before, and would love to just now obviously you kind of work with me and help the Energy Gold Rush team. Particularly on the Spanish front with support and support tickets. But, share with me a little bit about how you, found Energy Gold Rush, how you used it, and, now I guess anything you want to share about folks regarding Energy Gold Rush.
Yeah. I found Energy Gold Rush from my mentor. My mentor, he's an executive consultant. He used it whenever I was actually the 5th senior consultant to promote him to, and my entire downline we closed them based on the Energy Gold Rush video. To me at that moment and now also, it was an incredible tool that I used. I think the length of the video is perfect, 15 minutes. And 5 minutes also for the other video. It's not too long, it's not too short. It gives the specifics of the business. It gives the most important part also is that there are leaders of the business doing that presentation that will relate to a lot of prospects. So to me, it was amazing. It has closed so many prospects, so many consultants for me. And since day one, I've been using it, and I use it today too to close consult. And it doesn't matter who. It can be a college kid. It can be a business owner. It can be whoever. That's what I like from the video. It's actually a great tool. It's been a great tool for me.
Fantastic. Yeah, and that's one thing that we did on this last round of, since we started working together, since you came on board of the team, we've since revamped all the videos and the new lineup of speakers that we have. Not that the old one was bad by any stretch, but we had a very broad, diverse lineup that, we have young folks, we have old folks, we have folks from every demographic and background and race, nationality, really, that all the big ones anyway that are out there, so that it really speaks to pretty much anybody from any background. And so that's one thing that's been fun. And maybe share with me, if you wouldn't mind, since you started working, obviously you knew of Energy Gold Rush before we started working together, or you were on the team here. I say on the team, on the Energy Gold Rush team, helping, with things. Obviously, he's still, where he was in Ambit as a consultant. But share with me maybe something that, some things that you've learned about the Energy Gold Rush system and the tools that, now that you've, kind of been, you're a little closer to the fire, so to speak, of everything that we do here. Some things that you've learned about the tools since you came on board that you didn't know before.
Well, I think one of the biggest tools that has been made in this industry, and not just for me, but like for consultants that has had and will have major impact, is the tracking system. I think that will allow a lot of consultants, like for me, for example, I live in Missouri, and I have consultants and prospects in Texas, I have prospects in Chicago, and I think the tracking will allow us to break those barriers where distance is an issue. I think that's very important, and that's something that will change a lot of consultants' careers with that application. I think it will just increase the odds for consultants to succeed in the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's major impact.
Fantastic. All right. Well, anything else you want to share with folks?
Use Energy Gold Rush.
I didn't pay him for that. Although I do pay him, so I guess I did. In any case, thanks for joining us, folks. Tune in next time. All the best.
All right.